council members Patrick Williams, Jesse Rodriguez, Todd Doris, and J. Allen Carnes with us. I understand that your state representative Tracy King is in Austin. Is that right? Is Cheryl here? Oh, hello, thank you. I know he's working hard for us. He's a great guy. Thank you for being here, Cheryl, and tell him we missed him. I want to say also thank you to my good friend Janie Briscoe-Marmion for being here today and being a part of this celebration. Okay, Janie, you're not at the reception. There you go. Thank you, Janie, for always being here. Dear friend. Hey, am I wrong, but was that an all-female color guard from Uvalde High School? Leadership, you did a great job. Now, I have to ask the students that are here today, who, by the way, were fabulous, as was your teacher, singing to the guitar. Thank you so very much. And I know that you're missing school, kind of two ways, missing it because you're not there and actually missing it. I want to know that who's going to win American Idol? I'm not sure who's going to be out there, but I think there could be an American Idol over there in that group. So, you all fabulous. I would be sorely remiss, if I didn't recognize our longtime partners in this quest of Main Street, Mr. Chris Williston, the Independent Bankers Association of Texas, and Maybeth Palone, who's with us today. Maybeth, we're waving to the crowd. I want you to see the independent bankers because for the past 17 years, their generosity has allowed us to travel and do Main Street programs all across the state without an expense, one penny from taxpayers' money. So let's give them a working Austin for our independent bankers. They know that homegrown businesses are truly the backbone of a community, and they work hard to support them. Main Street, they've been on more Main Streets than I have. I'm a little bit upset about that. 17 years hasn't been quite that many. But I have been in Del Rio. Congratulations, Del Rio. I was the year that you had the young man that was in the Olympics, and you had the well, yeah, you had that run, that thing downtown, whatever that Olympic run, toboggan type. No, that wasn't it. But anyway, this is my 38th Main Street, and I'm delighted to be here. Del Rio to Wills Point. We all know where Wills Point is, right? Yeah, it's up there in Dallas, in that area. In February, it was sleeting, snowing, just like the wind was 30 degrees. But I have to tell you that joining this program of Main Street is truly a reflection of the love that you have for this town. Some of you may know Rick and I grew up together kind of out there west of I-35. We're in one of those counties, just like so many that, had a fire nipping at our heels. And, well, we were praying a little bit earlier. I think we ought to pray for rain a little bit more. In fact, I was going to compliment you for having the indoor event because I'm sure you thought you were going to have a deluge and we would all be kept dry in this beautiful building. But Rick and I are out there from Haskell County. I went to a school that had 56 in my graduating class. Rick grew up in Paint Creek, and if any of you have been to Paint Creek, you know that Paint Creek is not a town. Paint Creek is a community. It had a Methodist church on one end, a Baptist church on the other end, and had a school in the middle. There were 13 in Rick Perry's graduating class, and he brags and says he was top-ranking boy. And I'm sure that he was. But growing up in a small town really makes you appreciate the smaller towns that we have in Texas and what we feel for them in our community. I know it's a little bit different here in Uvalde. You have 6,000 students at Southwest Texas Junior College. And Uvalde High School is going to have 270 graduates in their graduating class. So yes, Uvalde's bigger than my little hometown, Haskell. We've lost population, unfortunately. But there are a few universal benefits that we can benefit from wherever we're from, but particularly from a smaller community. We know what it's like to grow up in a small town. You know the comforts of living in a small town. You know your neighbors. You know the children. You know your neighbor's dogs. You know them by name. You have a deep respect for your elders. And yes, there are a few times now and then that you wish everybody didn't know every little detail about you. Believe me, I know. But as well as we know each other, we know how to take the absolute best care of each other. And you know, when it's all said and done, we all just want to be home. But we're quick to come together. We're quick if there's a death or an illness or sadness in a family. We're quick to be there with the casserole in our hand. We probably had it in the freezer, 2 or 3 frozen stacked high. Y'all do it, I do it. You have the cookies. You have the cookies. You have to be there when there's something for sorrow, but you have to be there when there's a celebration. And today is a celebration for Uvalde. Because being part of this program helps you improve this town that is already fabulous. It will ensure you for the generations to come. It will be here for those future generations. As mentioned, Main Street will be with you every step of the way. I'm delighted to see Olga and her team have made this commitment to preserve a rich part of our state's history. You know, I guess I should have known this. I missed this along the way, but it was first named Encina, Spanish for shade trees. Jamie and I were talking about that as driving in. You truly have some of the most beautiful trees in any little town that I've been in, or any city of your size. You're the hometown of celebrities like the late singer-actress Dale Evans, the Grammy-winning Tejano group Los Palominos, and I'm sure that your hometown boy Matthew McConaughey makes being in People magazine nearly every week, showing off his abdominal muscles. Some of us can just only hope. But Uvalde is also the legendary hometown of former Vice President John Nance Garner, and a very favorite governor of mine, Governor Briscoe. He was also from a small town. He was one of us. We shared the same roots. And years later, I got to know the gentleman that he was, and he was always quick to sing the praises of his hometown. I was always touched by his kindness and praise for his wife and his family. And Rick Perry will tell you, and he's not ashamed in any sense of the word, that Governor Briscoe was the best governor we ever had. Governor and Janie Briscoe worked so hard to preserve the governor's mansion, and he was the first to, after the devastating arson fire in 2008, he was the first one to step up with a very nice contribution. You know, preservation isn't always the easiest choice that we have to make in our lives. But aren't you tired of hearing about all the charm of those other little small towns? When your own small town like Uvalde has the beauty, the history, the impressive architecture, it would be just a shame not to preserve it. You've already started doing that. You've got this incredible building, the Janie Slaughter Briscoe Grand Opera House. Does anybody remember when it was a 5 and dime? Oh, okay, I've got some good memories here. But it's gorgeous now. And it makes Uvalde a more charming, inviting place for anyone to stop while they're passing through. And in this town, what really matters is you're at the crossroads of 2 of the longest stretches of highway in the country. Writer John Steinbeck said that without preserving our past, how will we know who we are? Well, today it's proof that you know who you are, and you want your town to continue being different from that next town down the road. You're recognizing that your downtown can be and will be the heart and soul of your community for years to come. And Olga Charles is your Main Street coordinator. She was born here. She's been telling us that Uvalde really is the best town in Texas, and we're all here to believe it. 14 West North Street. Built in 1922, this building was and divided into 3 parts: a dry goods store, a jewelry store, and a meat market. Now, I was born in 1932, but I can remember when stores were like that. It's been home to a doctor's office, a utility company, an antique mall, and even the Palace drugstore, complete with its own soda fountain. Now it's home to your very own Gypsy dolls and Leos, and the design provided by the Main Street today will help you build even greater dreams for the future of Uvalde. It's through buildings like this one that we honor our past. We commit to the future of a beautiful downtown. So congratulations, Uvalde, and I think it's time to see that drawing.